We all know the Beatles, classic rock band. You got Ringo, George, John, and Paul, the front man. We all know him and love him, but did you know that Paul is dead? Well, some people think he's dead. It's an urban legend, but it's been around for 50 years. They say the voice that we've been hearing on these tracks, all these smash hits, Hey Jude, that's his voice, but we haven't seen his face since 1966. I'm a big music fan, so researching this interests me because it's like, how can such a wild theory become such a mainstream belief? At least for a short period of time. So I want you all to understand how this crazy claim came to be and the clues that support it and how the band responded. So we'll start with giving some context. This came about right as the band was disbanding after Abbey Road came out, and a lot of people, there was a lot of mystery because the band wasn't being very forward with the details, so a lot of people were speculating. And one of the main theory goes in 1966, Paul got into an argument with a bunch of band members, and he stormed out of the studio and wrecked his car and died, but they were still rising in fame, so they didn't want to lose that popularity, so they got a guy who won the Paul McCartney lookalike contest to come stand in for Paul McCartney in their videos and live performances. So Paul himself, when discussing this theory, says he thinks the reason it came about is because, hold on, the quote here. He said, in a Life magazine interview in 1969, perhaps the rumor started because I haven't been in the press much lately. So, now that we know the theory, let's go into some of the clues that are in this picture. A lot of people say there's a lot of symbolism in here because, well, we'll start with the cover. This is just a zoom in on the license plate that's on that Volkswagen there. They say that John, this is a funerary symbolism for Paul. John represents a heavenly figure with his white suit. George is a mortician in his black suit. Paul's a dead guy. George is wearing denim, so he's the gravedigger. And one of the things that sets Paul apart as being the dead guy, his right foot is forward, everybody else's left foot is forward, and he's barefoot. So that's weird. But the license plate has a lot of symbolism. LMW, that's speculated to mean Lauren McCartney weeps because her husband's dead. 28 if means that's how old Paul McCartney would be when the album came out, if he was still alive. R. Gary Patterson of the very credible source hoaxes.org says they planted clues in their albums to let fans know the truth, that Paul was dead. There are also a lot of hints in the lyrics of a bunch of Beatles songs. A lot of people say, I think I have a link here, but I'll go over the other ones first. John muttered, I buried Paul. I'm not going to do an impression of I buried Paul at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever. John also muttered, Paul is dead, man. Miss him, miss him, miss him, during the outro of I'm So Tired. And this is one of the more popular references, if you can pull it up. This is Revolution 9, which is a very experimental song. It's more like a collection of words and stuff. Is the volume up on this?
Number 9, number
So this is
9,
normal.
number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9.
This really sets into stone for me. Jeremy and there's no questioning that Paul is dead. So in response to all these claims, the band rebutted with Paul's not dead. If he
There's another.
still playing videos. Still playing videos.
Keep going.
Oh,
Where is it?
Firefox.
Firefox. Okay. All right, so the band claimed that Paul's not dead because a bunch of those lyrics are just like when he said I buried Paul, that's actually him saying cranberry sauce. It's just their British accents. And you can hear all kinds of weird stuff when playing songs in reverse. When the album came out, he wouldn't have been 28 if he was still alive. He was 27, so that's debunked immediately. The guy who wrote the original article about the theory said in a really profound statement, I made the guy up who replaced Paul McCartney. So, in conclusion, the band even actually made it into a joke. This is a live album by Paul McCartney in 1993 called Paul is Live. But, so they made it into a joke and they debunked it pretty heavily because he's not dead. He's still making music. So, yeah, it just blew my mind that such a crazy theory could have come about during band's most mysterious time, and that people are able to find clues for whatever their theory is. So I want to encourage you all to research crazy claims so that you don't just fall into whatever people are telling you.